In the news this week, yes or no, should young people buy a house with their super?
Also, the clock is ticking as the state government figures out an alternative for Row 8. And Fremantle comes alive with Easter festivities.
This is the Evening News with Ivan Lung and Cassandra Elliott.
Good evening. The affordable housing debate continues, with the industry experts claiming it's not a bad idea for young people to use their superannuation to buy a home. That is despite Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull's push to kill the proposal before the federal budget announcement later this year. Nelson Liu has the story.
It's an idea that could help get young people into their own home, using superannuation to help pay for a home deposit.
I do believe you should be able to use it for a home deposit because it's your money.
The federal government is expected to reveal a home affordability package in next month's budget, with the idea one suggestion to help young people.
Given the affordability issues we have in some cities around Australia, certainly giving people access to their superannuation might be potentially a good idea.
But it's not a good idea to everyone, with critics claiming it'll drive up housing prices while draining retirement savings.
We need to set aside money for the future. I don't think any young person really has an idea of how much money they need when they're older.
Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull says it's a thoroughly bad idea, but experts say it should be considered.
I think all things need to be on the table. Ruling anything in or out is not going to help the situation.
Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull has reiterated the dangers of using superannuation to buy into the property market, but young people say they're keeping their options open.
I think I would want to invest a little bit more time into doing a little bit more research, me personally.
People are advised to consider their financial situation before entering the housing market. Nelson Liu, WAMN News.
After Labor cancelled the Perth Freight Link, the latest alternative to upgrade High Street and Stirling Highway has been rendered expensive and intrusive. The Melville Mayor claims that jobs and houses are at risk, despite Main Road saying there are no current plans for upgrades. Andrew Fuster has the exclusive.
Just weeks after the Premier cancelled the PFL project, outspoken Melville Mayor Russell Aubrey claims the McGowan government have less than 4 weeks to rethink about the future of Row 8.
The $1.2 billion worth of funding that has been set aside for the Perth Freight Link project will be withdrawn by the federal government and put into consolidated revenue.
Mr Aubrey says jobs will be at risk as the alternatives to upgrade intersections on Leach Highway and Stock Road will be inevitable. The truck driver agreed, saying the intersection has reached critical mass and isn't up to standard for the volume of traffic.
Cars and trucks should, wherever possible, not really mingle and play together, but they do, and when it does happen, it's inherently dangerous.
In a statement, Main Roads responded to us saying they are renegotiating the contract in a responsible and timely manner. They also deny that there are plans to upgrade the intersection at Stock Road and Leach Highway. Meanwhile, the congestion issue is also forcing Fremantle Mayor Brad Pettit to seek upgrades to the High Street and Stirling Highway intersection.
It needs to be done in a way that doesn't really impact on local communities as much as some of the previous designs were. So we're really keen to work with the state government to come up with some modest upgrades that can happen sooner rather than later.
Andrew Fuster, WAMN News.
A man has died after he was shot by police during an armed confrontation in Darlington. The 29-year-old man was a suspect in 2 burglaries. During a planned operation, the man was pulled over. He refused to follow police orders and was holding a loaded pump-action shotgun. Several officers opened fire and the suspect later died in hospital.
At this early stage, investigations indicate that the police officers involved acted lawfully and in line with their training, policy and procedures. Continued investigations into this matter are being undertaken by the Major Crime Squad, and a file will be prepared for the State Coroner.
A senior coffin cheater gang member has been charged after police uncovered illegal firearms at his Lansdale home. A range of shotguns, rifles, stun guns and other equipment, including ballistic vests, were also uncovered during a joint operation by state and federal police. 54-year-old Paul Mule faced 21 charges, including possession of unlicensed firearms. He was refused bail and will reappear in court on July 6.
As we know, illegal firearms are used for crimes. They can harm the community, and as a result of yesterday's action, the citizens of Western Australia are safer.
News Corp and Fairfax Media announced they will shed more jobs as both companies continue to restructure their newspaper empire for a digital future. News Corp has reportedly sacked photographers in Metro mastheads, while Fairfax announced a $30 million cut in their editorial budget, with fewer journalists at the Sydney Morning Herald and The Age. The union labelled the cuts as disappointing and disheartening for the industry.
The notion that this results in efficiencies, you cannot in our industry continually derive efficiencies simply from getting rid of staff.
In a targeted attack against ISIS, the US have dropped the largest ever non-nuclear bomb containing 11 tons of explosives in Afghanistan. This bomb was dropped on caves and bunkers housing ISIS fighters known as ISIS-K. This attack comes only 5 days after a US Special Forces staff sergeant was reportedly killed by ISIS. US President Donald Trump has given total authorization to the US military who authorized the attack.
And finally this week, there are plenty of Easter activities going around the city, but Fremantle take the cake by offering family-friendly activities all weekend. Fremantle's High Street came alive with street arts, performances, live music, Easter street food, and a giant chill-out zone for kids.
Meanwhile, the yearly Easter Carnival was held near Dixon Road in Rockingham with bumper cars and spinning rides to make you go dizzy. Not to mention other entertainments including circus, cuddly farms and plenty of free Easter eggs to keep the kids happy.
And those are the top stories you need to know this week.
We have the latest news on our website and Facebook. On behalf of the news team, we wish you a happy Easter. Good night.
See you later.